his last messenger is not happy, whatever you do, either you do in a Khana Kaaba or you do in a Najaf Ashraf, if last messenger is not happy, he is not going to be happy with you. Evidence. Let's see the evidence. I will be focusing on the youngster, right? Before I come to this question, let's see what the verse says. Nur Samawat. The light is there in all skies and in the earth. Due to that light, the life is existing in this world. Now, the light was there when Adam was not there. Allahu Akbar. The light was there when Prophet Muhammad left this world. So light was there, right? So when Allah says this is the Nur, so the problem with the English language is there is no other translation of Nur than light. So this is one of the problems of English linguistics and phonetics. Linguistics is the science of languages. The way you talk, the way the language is written, the principles of language is called the knowledge of linguistics. Phonetics, right? Phonetics means the way the words are pronounced in this world. So one ability which you need to have, how to construct a sentence, and second ability, how to pronounce it according to the grammar principle. That is called sarf nahr in Arabic. In English we call it grammar and composition. If that structure is not properly built, nobody will be able to understand what is being said, what is being written, what is the meaning of that. True? And for that reason, Allah says that in order to write something, I am saying, wal kalam in the Quran. I have created that pen, and I am saying, I am taking my word by that pen. Which pen? Which pen? Is there any pen mentioned? We need to go into the court of 7th Imam. Imam said that pen is the wilaya of Amirul Mu'mineen. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. And the angel will write with that pen which Allah is saying, I am taking the qasam. In order to understand, right? When you see, in Arabic construction language, wallahi, wallahi. And then another word is yalla, yalla, right? These are the word of pronunciation. Grammatically, they have little meaning, but when you use them, they become the part of sentences. Like in kalama and muhammil, like noun and without noun. Okay. Example, let's see the youngster. He goes to school. He is a subject. Goes is a verb, and school is object. So S, subject, V, verb, object, SVO. This principle was created by Ali the Great in Arabic linguistic. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. His own student Ibrahim ibn Makki, who learned Quran from Ali the Great, and one day in the court of the last messenger, Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas and Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen, both were sitting together, and Prophet was explaining what the chapter Al-Qadr. As Prophet reached the last verse of Al-Qadr, when the Matlail, remember that? As the word came and Prophet put his finger on, this is what he is known in the world of skies, Ali the Great. Ali the Great. This is what is he known in skies. But when he comes in this world, he is known as the servant of Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And those people who want to learn this one, where is the Nur according to this verse? And then Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam reminded us what? What? أَوَّلُنَا خَلَقَ اللَّهِ مِنْ Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I was the one who was the Nur of Allah, the first created one. And Allah is saying in Quran, وَاللَّهُ نُورُ السَّمَوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Allah. So your second Imam said, Imam Hassan, my salam to that Nur, due to that the universe is standing in this world. And who is that Nur? My great-grandfather. My great-grandfather, none than the others. So that is the Nur. So there is a similarity between the Nur which Allah is saying in the Quran and the Nur which is walking in the streets of Medina. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And now, if we have to understand, Prophet Muhammad has already left the world. So which Nur is the guarantee of the existence of the structure of Allah's religion? And that Nur is Imam-e-Time. Imam-e-Zamana is the guarantor of that Nur in this world. People will ask you, in my Sunni school of thought, in my Shia school of thought, in my Judaism, in Christianity, because I've been invited in many pulpit, many university centers, Christians, Jews, right, okay? Let's give you a little bit of paraphernalia. That's what you can see. That you need to open your eyes when you see, like what paraphernalia means that? One thought have many meanings. Say Salawat Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Say Salawat Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad again. So Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I was giving example for the paraphernalia word. One thought has many meanings. One thought. Example. People were fighting in the time of Adam upon what? We need bread, we need shelter, we need clothes. True? People are still fighting in this world. The dimensions got changed, but the problem is still the same. True? So it means something is there that we have not, as a human being, understood the importance of the Nur. We detached ourselves from the time of the Nur and we were entering into our own greediness. That is why the fourth Imam said, your fourth Imam said, why Imam Hussein was killed? Because people could not detach themselves from their greediness. They couldn't recognize the Imam of their own time. And now, this is the duty for us to identify. Are we the same people? Or we are with the Imam of time? With. Many people say in the centers, I'm not a president, I'm not a secretary, I have no power, I can't make any change. You know the trouble for us when we sit in research centers, when all PhDs are there and we will try to speak to them? And I always say, don't change everybody, change yourself first. Everybody is there to change everybody, but nobody is ready to change himself. Nobody. Why the question is there? Why? In order to bring a change in yourself, what you need to be president, you need to be a secretary general, you need an authority, you need to enjoy power to bring a change. That's not the covenants between you and your Imam. Covenant means ahad. One is a promise, and you can understand meaning of the law, promiser and promisee, right? But a covenant, unbroken. You can't break it. It is more than allegiance. Allahu Akbar. You have a covenant with Allah. Today, we have not even able to recognize the virtues of Tawheed. Because we lie to Allah, because Allah is not watching us. We lie to Imam, because Imam is not watching us. And what is the basic principle of that? Stephen P. Robbins said the Executive Management Communication, volume number 6, and published in California. In that glossary, he said, why people start lying? Because first they learn how to lie themselves. Allahu Akbar. And I would like to salute to those Imam. I use the two words now. I may or would like. May in this sense, I am still a student. Allahu Akbar. When I would, it means I know what is my duty. Because I'm answerable to Allah. Right? What our Imam asked this one. Don't make any promise which you cannot fulfill. But you cannot run away from the land of Allah. Allahu Akbar. Because you are in a covenant bond. That is why in our institutions of Islam, taqleed is not allowed in the injunctions of Islam. Means the main principle. Tawheed, main principle. Many people say, no, it's not clear. Let me give you examples. For example, if I born in the house of idol worshipper, idol, my parents, suppose that example, that my parents are worshipping idols, I would definitely be following them because I would like to see them. Yeah, I was observing them, I was looking at them. So that is why. Because my parents are my first mujtahid, my guardian. You understand? Allah said in Asul ad-Din, don't believe in your parents. You need to do what is right, what is wrong. And that is why in Asul ad-Din, taqleed is not allowed. Use your prudence. Tafakkahu fid-din. And prudence should be prudential, not experimental. Try to understand what means your prudence you have learned through experience may not necessarily be similar for you. You need to find your God with your own akal. So in institution of Tawheed, you are not the follower of any mujtahid. You are in the covenant of Allah. Because if we accept this argument that we do need any taqleed in Tawheed, then what would be the message on the day of the judgment when a son of Hindu will come? Oh Allah, you said already that you need to follow taqleed in institution of Tawheed. I learned from my father, they were idol worshipper, then there is a no. I don't want to say anything. That's why our Shariati, remarkable personality, intihar zindane insan. And Aqai Mohsin Hakim Tabatabai as well. When you learn why Ali the Great has a specific love with the Al-Ikhlas chapter in Quran. Specific love. I'm not saying special. Specific is with the experience that somebody has already experienced the taste of that existence. That is called in English grammar specific one. So Ali has tasted the existence of Tawheed in his own body. And that is why he had a purified love for chapter Al-Ikhlas. Somebody asked Mawla, why do you love so much chapter Al-Ikhlas? And Amir al-Mu'minin said, give any single reason that Ali should have loved this chapter. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So that is the reason. If your parents say anything against the Sharia of the last messenger, you are not allowed to know that. You are not allowed to follow them. There is no need to have a government. Let's think about this now for the next 15 minutes, right? Each human being has his or her own government. Each person. According to Imam Rida, not Imam Rada, Ar-Rida. Okay? According to Imam Rida, right, a man is a nucleus of government components. He fights for wrong and he wins for the right. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Why? Why? Over 30 Imams said, in all parts of the world, human beings are coming in this world, but humanity is dying day by day. Allahu Akbar. Means we have human beings, but we do not have humanity common. And that was the reason your fourth Imam said, on the 10th day of the Muharram, humanity was dying and Hussein was saving humanity. Allahu Akbar. So who is the torch bearer now? Who is the light today? The 12er one, Mahdi, the Imam of time. Now people ask the question, Doctor, how we can understand that Imam is in occultation? We don't see him, we don't talk him, okay? And we have one night to write a letter. They were the youngsters at the university, they were the students of Anfield. It was the last month I was addressing a lecture in the Hull University. Right. And they all were the Anfield. I mean, they're entering into the PhD. I said, you are girls and boys are sitting, and some of you might have understanding as well. And everybody's having telephone with you, and you're carrying telephone. How many times do you talk to each other a day? They said maybe sometimes 7 times, 8 times. How many of you are Shias? So we are 56 selected candidates by the universities. And from there, 22 are Shia school of thought. That's why you're here. I said, I'm sorry, I'm not for them. I've not been invited by the Shia communities, I'm invited by the research center. You gave me the topic, and I'm talking. Right. Those who are the Shia, okay, and those who follow the 12ers, first answer for them. You have your own relationship as a girlfriend, as a boyfriend, as a husband, as a wife. How many times do you talk to each other a day? So 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times. And whenever the month of Imam of time appears, people write 1 letter to Imam. In a year, 12 months and 1 letter. Is this the quality of the love? Is this the quality of relationship? Oh Imam, we are going to talk to you for our own needs, not for the sake of your love. Everybody was stunned in that room. They said, Doctor, we didn't think like that. I said, okay, let's move to the next level. Okay. Ali the Great was approached by Prophet. It's a very unique sentence by the Lebanese literature around Mustafa. The book is called like a revolution in human being. That's the book, the reference I'm giving you from there. Right. It was a very strange discussion between 2 pillars of knowledge. According to him, not according to me. One is a city, one is a door, according to me. According to that researcher, the two pillars, what? And what? Those two pillars were talking. So who will understand the eloquent discussion? Only who qualify. Allahu Akbar. In front of the children, if you start talking about what? The criminal procedure code of law, they won't understand it except only the solicitors. Correct? But may our lives sacrifice on that highly dignified, eloquent tongues of two greatest personalities of the universe. Right? Prophet said, Ali, what are you to me? And Imam Ali requested Mawla, what am I to you? You tell from your own tongue. And you know what Prophet replied? Prophet replied, if Almighty Allah builds a castle of knowledge, if castle of knowledge, and the tomb of knowledge is being known for many, many miles, people can recognize this is the castle of knowledge, and that tomb has a different structure. Ali, you know what is your position for me? If I am the castle of knowledge, you will be the tomb of that castle. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And then Mawla asked, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Ali, what do you think about me? And look at the word in that. He's a Christian researcher. This is his research. The credit goes to him. I'm just explaining to you. You know, Ali said, Mawla, the tomb is tomb, but tomb is nothing without structure. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So today's Imam of time is absolute castle of the knowledge. He is carrying the head of Ali the Great, his body is Muhammad the Great. But we are far away. We wait only for the day when we need to write down a letter. And we prepare that night very nicely. We need to do this thing, we need to do this thing, do this thing. Only one letter in 12 months. Okay. Let me now give you how you can write down a letter every week. These words are for the seniors, not for the juniors. Right? You can write down a letter every week. What you do? What you do? Your Ali the Great said, if you want to meet my son, look, if you want to meet my son, this is the glossary of Al-Mizan. Akai Hakim At-Tabatabai, the senior one. Okay. When he was explaining the chapter of Al-Qasr, and the translation is there with the reference of Al-Ahili. So the two experts are saying this one. What? Imam Ali said, when the time will running over the minds of human body, is this the time or not? We are when the time is running over your mind, means that people are in the clutch of time. If clutch kills you, you'll be killed. Okay. Then remember one thing. Do not start your day without opening a Quran. Allahu Akbar. If you're looking for salvation, start your day with opening a Quran. Do not leave the house without recitation of Quran. Mawla, what should we do? I can't recite the whole chapter. Imam said, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them who will see the day of the judgment. The world will be on a high level of climax. Technology will be very high. Just only 10 verses a day. Allahu Akbar. Only 10 verses. Only 10 verses. The highest sleep, according to the UCL professor of neurology, a man will enjoy in this time is 10 hours, not more than 10 hours. Allahu Akbar. 10 hours sleep. Think about this one. 24 hours a day, 12 hours, 8 to 10 hours you're on time. Employment, 10 hours your sleep. How many hours are left? 10 plus 10, 4. Imam said the 4 angels will protect you for 24 hours and you will not see the death until you see me. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. That is the prescription number 1. Prescription number 2, if you want to purify your body, what you need to do it, Allahu Akbar. Start leaving one sin away from you. And the person asks question, Mawla, it's very difficult because it is a habit of many, many years. Allahu Akbar. Imam said, don't worry about that. Which habit is the most dangerous one? He said, Mawla, the dangerous one is that I lie to everybody. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I lie to everybody. I want to say that because the last night was the night of the Shahadat of your Jaddah. Imam Ali Naqvi, Sayyid Badshah. Right. So his one address is known as, which is called Al-Kufa Ta'madeen. That's one of his address, in which he explains the journey of spirit from land to Al-Jannah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. You take these words and share with your family members who are not here. Right? So Imam said in that address, you can purify your body if you give me a guarantee of one thing, that you're not going to lie after meeting me. After meeting me. Mawla, what? The question came next. Mawla, what? When you will not be here? Mawla said, go in my house. Mawla, where is the house? Mawla, where is your house? Mawla said, any house which belongs to the name of Allah is a house of mine. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So don't think this mosque belongs to anybody. First it is the house of Allah, then it is the house of Messenger, then it is the house of Imam. So how many authorities are there? You are in the authorities of Allah, last Messenger, and the Imam of time. Okay? And if one person who lies daily and comes in a mosque, it means he is aligned to 3 authorities daily. Allahu Akbar. That is why our 5th Imam was approached by a person who said, Mawla, please pray for me that I should die quickly. Imam turned his face, go away. He came back after one day. Mawla, please, when I go back and reflect upon my life, my whole life is full of sin and crime. I, even if have to write it down, sins are more and the goods are lesser. Imam turned his face on the other side. Imam said, go away, don't ask. It happened 7 times and Imam refused to answer this one. 8th time, what he did it? He brought the son of Imam with him. Allahu Akbar. Jaffaria Islamic. Imam brought them. The young boy, just 4.5 years. Imam saw in the eyes of his own son, Hazrat Imam Jaffaria Islamic disassociated himself from Allah. Because they all are Muhammad. Before Imam Bakr about to speak, Imam Jaffaria said, Mawla, as your grandfather did, mercy on somebody, do mercy upon him. Allahu Akbar. Imam did this exactly the same. Imam took his turban, amama, recited 2 rakat namaz, and said, come on now. And the person moved forward. Imam said, this is my hand, give me your bay'ah. Mullah, I'm already your Shia. Mullah said, no, give me back. Okay. So what is this one? Mullah said, you're going to reassure your covenant with me, the word covenant, and I have a covenant with my Allah. He did it, and after that Imam said, my all blessings are with you. Now only one thing, don't go near to the lie. Lie. People who tell lie beautifully with planning for over projection, they knew it by themselves, they were wrong, but instead of few people, because people shouldn't say that he was wrong, they're getting insulted. But look at that time when you are here for your own word, but remember the good moment is on when the day of the judgment. Allah is happy with you, the whole world may not be happy with you. Okay. He came back after 4 or 5 years and he said, Mawla, I know the beauty of not telling a lie, because my all sins are dying one by one. And now I can see I am able to enter into the court of Imam. Then Imam said, my salam to that time, who will be the custodian of Al-Asr. You know the Al-Asr? You say, Assalamu alaikum. Imam Al-Asr, you say. Imam Bakr is saying, my salam to that Imam. Wish I could have been there. Mawla, you send him in my life, so I could be a servant of that Imam. Your fifth Imam is saying this. Look at the Aqidah of fifth Imam. One thing, lie. So the today's lesson is that Noor is here in your heart when truthness is there. Noor will die, then everything is gone. Why? Because your Imam said, Masoom is being taken away from the position. Only those who believe in lies. And Allah is with them, those who are Sadiq. That is why sixth Imam said, I'm a son of a Sadiq, ibn Sadiq, ibn Sadiq, ibn Sadiq, ibn Sadiq. Nobody else is in this world who can say like that. Today, Imam Zaman, the last few words. Ladies and gentlemen, my daughter's sister, inshallah we will be having this talk continuously, and you will see this message will progressing, and the new approaches will be there, because we will be trying to understand what is the beauty of the Noor and why Imam Zamana is there from different perspectives in the next 4 or 5 Thursdays. Okay, so bring your fellows, bring your other people as well, record this thing, listen these things, right? Okay, the last is that what? If you cannot establish a government in your own body, you cannot establish yourself in the court of Imam. May Almighty Allah give us understanding how to be the true followers of Imam of time. One thing we need to start today, we will not go near the lie. Even the parents are doing it. All children, we need to say, Dad, Mom, we need to get rid of this thing. Why? Because this is one of the worst enemies of the risk. One of the worst enemies of Imam of time. One of the worst enemies of last messenger. Because he was Sadiq and we are the followers of Sadiq. So we need to with them who are Sadiq. That's why you are a follower of Imam Jafar, Sadiq. Right? May Almighty Allah give us courage to understand and the sources of purification so we can go near to Almighty Allah. Give us also the strength so we have repenting application of habits That's we can bring ourselves closer and closer to Almighty Allah. May Almighty Allah give this courage to this mosque and this administration. So be the house of the ambassador of Imam of time. Salamun alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.